I'm right back at you. Um, I want to talk about my son. Um, he, ever since he was little, he, my 16-year-old, ever since he was little, he loved basketball from the time he was a really, really little guy. He loved basketball. Basketball was his passion in a sense. I mean, he played in elementary school, he played in junior high, he played a little in high school, and now he's no longer interested in being a basketball player. He said that that was his passion. It's what he wanted to do, you know. Now he said he's no longer interested. He still loves the sport, but he's not interested in being on the team. He's not interested in, you know, playing anymore. I don't know if he got discouraged somewhere along the way. I don't know. Now what he does now is he's rapping. He's rapping right now. And there's a guy that owns a recording studio down the street from me, and he goes down there in the recording studio, and he raps. Sometimes his friend collaborates with him, and he writes his own lyrics and everything. And um, the main problem that I have with him rapping is that he uses a lot of foul language in his rap music. He uses foul language. He's pretty much trying to do what everybody's trying to do. You know, the same things that the other rappers are doing, you know, and the things that they're talking about. You know, pretty much he's trying to be like, it's, you know, it's a trend for them to be cussing and all that kind of stuff. And I don't approve of that. You know, I don't approve of it at all. And I've talked to him about that. And he tells me that it's a hobby. You know, right now I said, well, um, you know, he's put his stuff on YouTube, and he's you know, put his stuff. You know, like I say, he goes to the recording studio, and you know, he lays down tracks, and sometimes he collaborates with his friend, and actually, to be perfectly honest, you know, I think he is pretty good at it. I mean, he's really good at it. He writes his own lyrics, and he is really good at it. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's good. A lot of other people think that he's good, and so I asked him. I said, "Well, because I wanted to find out how serious he was about this rapping thing." And so I asked him. I said, well, what do you want to be a rapper? What's going on?" He said, "Well, right now," he said, "it's just a hobby." He said, "You know, it's just a hobby right now, Mom. I enjoy doing it." And you know, I told him that I didn't approve of his use of foul language and calling women the B word and stuff. But like I said, he's doing what everybody else does when they rap, you know. And I try to encourage him. I said, "Why don't you rap about young people staying in school and, you know, stuff like that? You know, rap to the young people about staying in school. You know, rap about school, and, you know, rap about listening to your mom and you listening to your parents, and, you know, why don't you rap about things like that to try to encourage the young people instead of um, doing all this cussing and going on? You know, why don't you?" He said, "Well, Mom, I'll try." Well, so far he hasn't done it. He's still doing the same thing, which, like I said, I totally disapprove of that. Um, so I asked him. I said, "Well, if what if somebody hears you and they want to sign you to a recording contract?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna take it." You know, he said, "If I have the opportunity to get," he said, "Right now it's just a hobby, Mom, but if I had the opportunity to get a contract," he said, "I'm not gonna lie, I'll take it." And so that's when the whole conversation between him got started, and we started having a whole serious conversation about it. And I was telling him, I said, "You know, I have some serious concerns about my son being a rapper because um, just looking at the entertainment industry is they it's really true what they say. It's no business like show business. It really is no business like show business. But that part of the entertainment industry, I mean, I'd rather for him to say he wants to be an actor or a singer than for him to say he wants to be a rapper, because that particular part of the entertainment industry, um, there I have a lot of concerns that first of all, like I said, his image, his use of the N word and foul language and all that stuff, and I don't approve of it, and I just don't think that that's the kind of image that he should put out there. And me being a witness, I'm really am not approving of that at all. And I say, well, that doesn't make that wouldn't make me look good. Now I'm your mom and I'm a witness, but he has no interest in uh, becoming. He has no interest in being a Jehovah's Witness. He has no interest, even though I've been taking him to the hall ever since he was a little kid. Right now, he's showing no interest in wanting to be a Jehovah's Witness. So, um, so I've told him how I did not approve of his use of foul language and all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, and I have other concerns too about that industry. I said, there's rappers that be getting killed, and I said, what about these rappers that be getting killed? Tupac and Biggie are the main ones, but those two were the well-known rappers that got killed. Those two are the most well-known rappers that got killed, but there are numerous other rappers that have gotten killed. They just don't report it. There's a lot of rappers out there on a smaller scale that have gotten killed. They just don't report it because they're not mainstream rappers. They're not mainstream rappers, and because they're not mainstream rappers, they're not reporting it, like that. But I have heard of numerous other rappers getting killed, and I've told them this. I said, Edmund, I said, what about these rappers out here getting killed and all this stuff? He's at the age, when they get to be teenagers, they're like, they think they know it all. They think they know everything, and they think they have all the answers. And mom, but that's because they be beefing with such and such and such and gang members and all this kind of stuff. And he goes into all that song and dance about they be beefing with gang members or whatever it is, or they be beefing with people in their old hoods or whatever. He said, it's always the mentality, it's not going to happen to me. And when they're young like that, if you guys have teenagers, you know what I'm talking about. When they're young like that, they think they're invincible. They think nothing bad is ever going to happen to them, and they think because they're young that nothing bad is going to happen to them, and they're going to be okay. So it's every time I would bring that up, he would be like, "That's because this and that and the other, and this and that and the other," and it's the mentality that, oh, it's not going to happen to me kind of thing. So it's hard for me to talk to him. It's hard for me to tell him anything because he knows it all. I be trying to tell him what my concerns are. I said I don't like that industry. I don't like the things that go on in that industry, the violence, drugs. There's drugs in other segments of the entertainment industry as well. Just the association. I don't this with him being associated with certain types of people in that industry, and not to mention that there's a lot of crooks. There's a lot of I don't want my son to be taken advantage of. I don't, because everything is about money. They always want to make money, and that's their main primary um, goal, is to make money. And I know I've heard that in the music industry, that the entertainer is the actually the last one that gets paid. Everybody else gets paid before the artist. The artist is the last one that usually gets paid. And so I wouldn't want it to be a situation to where he gets taken advantage of, and um, it's just all kind of concerns that I have. I have all kind of concerns about him being a rapper. I don't absolutely. I mean, once he gets to be 18, um, it's his decision. It's his decision. But I told him, I said, now that while you're under 18, if someone asks you to sign a contract, they have to have my consent, I believe. And then we went into a whole thing about that. Well, Mom, why would you want to stop me? And this and that and the other and all that. And so we went into a whole song and dance about that. And so it's a very complicated situation. I'm praying, needless to say, I'm really praying really hard that um, this doesn't go any further than a hobby for him, because I just want better for my son. I mean, I think that's the problem. And I talked to my sister, and my sister lives in Atlanta, and she says, and a lot of the young black males down there want to be rappers too. She said this is about a whole bunch of them down there want to be rappers, and so I just have an issue with young black males aspiring to be rappers. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a rapper. I mean, that is a. Uh, I understand that that's an art form, and I get it, but I think that young black males, uh, in a large number of young black males wanting to pursue this career path, I think it's a problem. It's a problem when a large number, excuse me, a large number of young black males want to pursue this particular career path. I think there's an issue with it because I think that's the problem, part of the problem in our community. I mean, we don't have enough young people that are going into professional fields. He said that. I said, well, what are some of the other things that you're interested in? And I've sat down and talked to him. I said, besides rapping or playing basketball, what are some of the what he did told me that he wants to go to college. So thank God, that's a good thing. He told me yes, he definitely is interested in going to college, and he says that he's interested in culinary arts. So I said, okay, good. I said, hey, if you really get good at it, I said, chefs make good money. Then I said, you could even open up your own restaurant. I'd rather for him to go that route than for him to be a rapper. You know, um, I just think that young black males should aspire to be something other than just a rapper. And it's so many other fields. We don't have, the problem is that we don't have enough black doctors. We don't have enough black lawyers. We don't have enough we hardly have virtually any black scientists. These are the type of fields that if he was to go into something, and culinary arts is a great field too. It's a great field too, because that's a professional skilled job, and chefs make a lot of money. And I say, hey man, you can go on to own your own restaurant and everything. So I just much rather him explore some other career opportunities. And I said this, you can have your own business. I try to encourage him to be an entrepreneur one day or something like that. Um, I just don't want him in that industry. I just have so many concerns about him in that industry. I've heard so many negative things about that industry. I don't want him to be exposed to the drugs. I mean, because I think they have easier access to drugs um, when they get to that level, and I don't want him to have access to that. It's just things that I don't want him to be exposed to, that he can be exposed to. And I just think right now he's being a little naive, and he doesn't know. I mean, he said that right now that it's a hobby, but he said that if he had the opportunity to sign a contract, he would jump on it. So I'm hoping that, and he's pretty good at it. And my worry, and he's getting better at it. And so I'm really, really getting concerned. And so all I can do is pray, and and hope that this is just a, a phase that he's going through. And I'm hoping that it was just a phase, and I'm hoping that it passes, and that he go ahead and goes to college, and do something other than being a rapper, because I just really do not want him in that area. I don't like I said, there's too many negative things associated with that industry. I just don't want him in that industry. You know, I think there's so many other things, other careers that he can be doing. And I just, like I said, for in a large abundance of young black males wanting to go into that field is a problem. I think it's a problem, because I think that um, I don't know what's going on in the school systems in various cities across the country. I don't know what's going on. I know there's a lot of disparities between predominantly black schools and the predominantly white schools. But I don't know. Our school system needs to be education. School systems for African American children need to be changed, because they just need to be encouraged to, um, highly encouraged to go into some other fields that they can help people, that they can make a difference in. Rap, I mean, you're not really. I mean, there's rappers that has done positive things. I'm not downgrading. I'm not putting down rappers or downgrading any rappers, but there are rappers that have that has done positive things. There's some that have came back and gave back to their communities. I'm not knocking that, but I just think it's so many other things that he could be doing. Like I said, we don't have enough black doctors. We don't have enough black lawyers. We don't have enough black scientists. We don't have enough black entrepreneurs. And these are the things that we need, And I'm trying to encourage him to, like I said, the good news is that he does want to go to college. So he said he is very much interested in going to college. So, whew, so I'm glad about that. So I'm just hoping that it stays a hobby, and that it doesn't go any further than that. I'm just praying and hoping that it just stays a hobby. It doesn't go anything further than that. So you guys let me know in the comment section what you think. But yeah, I don't want my son to be a rapper. I don't, for various reasons. Uh, I got some more interesting videos coming up. So you guys stay tuned, like and share my video. This is Sweet June.